I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at Batman issue number 25, the kickoff to the War of Jokes and Riddles, the super summer storyline that we'll be enjoying for a couple of months. Or maybe we won't. Let's hop on in together and find out for ourselves, shall we? Okay then, so it's important to note that this story actually takes place after the events of Zero Year, but before everything else we've seen. As the comic opens, we join the Joker in a darkly lit comedy club. He keeps bringing up performer after performer, and when they fail to make him laugh, he executes them. Jeez, I've heard of a tough room, but this is totally taking it to a whole other level. Now, it would seem that after Batman brought down Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler, and more or less the architect behind the whole Zero-Year catastrophe, the cops had been coming to him a la Hannibal Lecter to use his big brain to help them solve unsolvable crimes. And these recent acts of random violence from the Joker are definitely something that have the police rather flummoxed. Of course, it doesn't take Nygma too long to put together the pattern that no one else is smart enough to see. And after he does that, he decides that he's not really feeling the whole prison thing anymore and opts to escape. And hey, also, I can't be the only one who thinks this, but does the Riddler looked a lot more jacked than the last time we saw him? Maybe he's been hitting the gym while in prison. From there, we head on in with new commissioner of the Gotham City Police Department, James Gordon. He talks about how this new rash of crimes affecting comedy clubs, joke shops, and other comedy-related businesses just so happen to coincide with a massive heat wave that's hitting Gotham. As he says, in Gotham, it's always something. Also, hey, fair dues for showing Gotham in the daylight like this. You don't see this all that often. Now, what exactly is the Joker after that's motivated his newest rampage? Not that he's ever really needed much justification. Well, here's the thing. He wants a laugh. He can't laugh. He's desperately looking for something funny, and he's killing anyone who gets in his way. The Riddler, however, is hot on his tails, and the Gotham SWAT team is hot on his tails as well, but Riddler has a way out of this one. You see, well locked up, Nygma went out of his way to trade secrets with the guards. He'd use his vast intellect to help them out with their personal problems, or even just help them bet on sports games, and in return, all he asked for was information on the other guards and their families. How very Jim Carrey Riddler, knowledge is power, isn't it? After managing to shake the cops, Riddler is finally able to track down the Joker at his high-rise hideout. As Nygma puts it, he followed the clues that these weren't actually random crimes, but they were all making the face of a clown with a nose pointing to the Joker's location. Joker never actually confirms nor denies this theory. I like to imagine Nygma was reading into a bunch of stuff that wasn't there and just got lucky. Also, hey, this is our first non-Capullo Joker we've gotten in a very long time, and he looks, well, a lot more like a human being and less like a fade demon. Riddler does most of the talking in this situation, saying deep down he and Joker ultimately want the same things. They want Batman's attention. Whether it's to foil him with the ultimate unsolvable puzzle or get the greatest comedy laugh of all time out of him. Jeez, methinks you two put way too much of yourself into another person. That's not healthy at all, but then again, you're supervillain, so of course you're not healthy. Riddler proposes a great villainous team-up that with his mind and Joker's unpredictability, they would be able to bring Batman down once and for all. But Joker is not a team player and opts to shoot him in the stomach instead. And in that one moment, the War of Jokes and Riddles had begun. A battle that would end up engulfing the whole city and cutting the supervillain community into two camps, chaos and order. Jokes and riddles, although to be fair, I actually think that Tom King's assertion that a joke can only ever be chaotic and a riddle can only ever be ordered isn't entirely true. How many riddles have you heard the answer to that have been completely random and out of left field, and how many comedians do you know have refined their style down to a laser? But I guess that's neither here nor there, is it? What is important though is as the comic winds down, we actually briefly flash forward to the present where we meet Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle post-coitus and post-marriage proposal. Bruce says that if they're gonna move ahead with their relationship, then Selina needs to know about the worst thing he ever did, what he did did during the War of Jokes and Riddles. Oh geez, Batman has a dark secret. Must be a day that ends in Y, am I right? So there you have it, everyone. Batman number 25, and overall it was a pretty compelling little kickoff to this new storyline. As a fan of supervillains, especially Batman's rogues gallery, I really enjoyed seeing them take center stage and Batman himself really be a minor player. Granted, as with any prequel, the big problem and the big hurdle that this story is going to need to overcome is being able to create drama when we know full well all the important characters lived. As I mentioned before, it's kind of cool to see a classic early on in his career Joker before his face got cut off and before he got a fade. They're also clearly building up to something, the fact that while he is the Joker, he still hasn't found his great trademark maniacal laugh yet, and what will eventually bring that out of him. I'm less won over by King's version of the Riddler just yet, but hey, there's time for him to win me back. Overall, I feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. So there you have it, everyone. Batman number 25. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, if you're still watching, check out some of these other videos I've slaved over from throughout the week. Want to keep up to date on War of Jokes and Riddles as it happens? Well, there's no better way to do that than to head on over to Twitter or down in the description of this very video and follow me on many of my social media feeds at Cape Joel. Feeling in a supportive mood? Well, if you are, might I recommend becoming a patron. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and podcasts before anybody else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. Maybe monthly is not your thing, I get it, times are tough. I also have a cyber tip jar if you just want to give one time. So until next time, everybody, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again in another video. Bye-bye.